Hello everyone, and welcome to week 3. And this week we'll be talking about moral development. And so I want to take us through module 3, some of the expectations real quick, and then I'm going to spend some time discussing your assignment for this week. For those of you who have been looking ahead in the chapters and videos, you know that chapter 3 has a lot of info in it, a lot of stuff going on, more than we're going to be able to handle in our class session this week. So in our class session, I want to handle discussion of the theories that you'll need for this week's assignment, specifically Kohlberg's theory and Gilligan's theory. But as it stands, you may need to do a little extra work in the course to successfully pass the quiz. So what you need to do, and as we discussed last week, before your class session this week, you need to read textbook chapter 3 and be ready to discuss that. I highly recommend watching Professor Moriarty's videos in the course this week. They have a lot of great information that will help you on both your assignment and your quiz. You have a learning activity here to do, and more videos. Module 3 quiz that will be due Sunday night, 11:59. And then the Module 3 Dropbox discussion board. And remember, a discussion board is due at 11:59 Thursday night. Anything past that is late and will not be accepted. It needs to be in the Dropbox and on the discussion board, 2 different places, like we did in week 1, to be graded. And then you have a reply post that's due to a classmate's post by Sunday, 11:59. Make sure, some people forgot on the first discussion board, make sure that you are replying to at least one classmate from the opposite group. So if you're in group A, you respond to group B, and if you're in group B, you respond to group A. I didn't deduct for that in the first week if you didn't, but this week I will take off your reply points if you don't reply at least one to a corresponding group. This is how we have some interaction between the classmates that you don't get to see. You're certainly encouraged to respond more than once, but that's the requirement, is at least one from the opposite group. So what I want to do is I want to take some time real quick to talk about this week's assignment. For the most part, I've been seeing the assignment coming in. The assignment's coming in from last week, and there's a common theme of missing the assignment instructions. So please make sure you really spend time with assignment instructions and understand what I'm asking you to do before you jump into the assignment and do it, because you will lose points for not hitting the assignment instructions. So what you're going to do this week, we're going to do an activity with moral development. And this tells you, what you're going to do. APA, put it in the Dropbox, put it on the discussion board. We got the due dates like normal. But I want to talk about the assignment itself. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to apply Kohlberg or Gilligan's theory of moral development to a fictional character, which means a fake character, right? From a book, a comic book, a movie, a TV show, etc. To that character and their moral development, okay? Now, please don't try to get fancy. Don't dig deep into, classic British literature to find some complex, character from the 1800s that you think is going to impress me. There's no character that I'm looking for in specific for you guys to write about. I want you to pick a character that means something to you, from a show that you like, from an anime that you like, a comic book that you like, cartoon, movie, book, short story. Has to be a fictional character. And I want one close to you because you need to understand that person well enough to talk about them, if that makes sense. And so what you're going to do, you're going to try to determine, as it says here, the character's overall motivation for their actors and actions, and then tell us what steps or stages you believe that character is in and why. Okay, so the title of your post is going to be your character, where they're from, and the theory you're applying. So an example here is Tyler Durden from Fight Club, Kohlberg's theory. So this is the character, Tyler Durden. This is the book where he comes from, Fight Club, which is also a movie. And Kohlberg's theory is what I'm applying. Okay? Oops. Sorry. Molly Weasley from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Gilligan's theory. Okay? So, character, Molly Weasley. Where is she from? Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Gilligan's theory. Now, this is an important thing to do because, Molly Weasley appears in all 7 of the Harry Potter books. And characters may be in different stages at different times. So if you're picking a character from a trilogy or a saga, make it known to me at what point you are analyzing this person. So, because you got to remember, Harry Potter in the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, they're going to be in different stages of moral development, right? So make that clear to me, like at what point you are analyzing that character. And the way you can do that, it's real simple, just in the book title, okay? So in paragraph 1, this is a summary. Kind of like we did in the last assignment where you summarize the big ideas of the article. In the first paragraph, you're going to provide a brief summary, 4 to 6 well-developed sentences of the character you're using for this assignment. So describe the character in terms of their attributes as it pertains to good qualities, bad qualities, motivations for their actions, their goals, their desires. Don't tell me what they look like. Don't tell me, that kind of stuff. I want to know about their character and the things that are going to help you assess their moral development. Okay, please use a character you're familiar with because this description needs to come from you and your interpretation of the character, not someone else's, meaning do not use an outside source to help you describe your character. So a good tip is to use a character you know inside and out and not try to be fancy with it, like I mentioned earlier. What this means is if you use somebody's blog or article or a wiki source or anything other than your own brain to help you summarize this character, you will receive a 0 on this assignment. Because this assignment is not about you finding somebody else's ideas about this person's moral development or their character. It's literally about your ability to see somebody's moral character and then assess a stage of development. So I want this to be purely to how you see this character, what you see in them. Does that make sense? Good. Any questions on that, please ask me, okay? Paragraph 2, this is now the application. So in paragraph 2, you're going to discuss the stages or steps of Kohlberg's or Gilligan's theory your character is or was in and why. The why because should be detailed and is the most important part. Use at least 6 well-developed sentences to fully flesh out your answer of the stages, steps you've applied to this character. Please use examples of their behavior, conduct, actions that prove their placement in this particular stages or steps. Be sure to show how their actions link to the description of the stages, steps of the theory you are using. Please paraphrase your textbook for this. It is the only approved resource for this assignment. So what I expect to see is you say, person in, X stage of Gilligan's exemplifies this, that, or the other thing, Manus Monroe 2020, and Harry Potter shows that in his actions towards this, that, and the other thing. I want you to use the textbook, examples of the steps and the stages and the characteristics of those. So you will be paraphrasing that in your second paragraph and applying it to your character. And again, if you have questions on that, please reach out and ask me, okay? And so again, you should be basing this off of what you know of this character, not what other people think. Do not use sources outside of your textbook. If you use a source outside the textbook, you'll receive a 0 on this assignment. If you use information from a source and don't cite it, you'll fail the assignment for plagiarism and run the risk of being turned over for academic remediation. So please, guys, what I'm really interested in here is you and your ideas on this, not somebody else's, okay? I don't want you to be intimidated, think that you have to be perfect on this. This is just how you see the theory and how you see this character and your attempts to put them within somewhere within the steps or stages. The minimum word count on this is 250 words, and as always, I want you to include your word count. Guys, make sure you're paying attention to your word count. We've had this issue now on the first 2 assignments that people are including their titles, their headers, and their reference pages as word count. It is not. Word count is literally only what you have in paragraph 1 and 2, and I will be verifying that on my end when I grade it. Also, be sure that you are submitting this in a Microsoft Word document as it states in the assignment instructions. Some people are putting them up as PDFs, and I do not want a PDF. I want a Word document that I can download, put notes in, and re-upload for you guys to have feedback. Okay, so please follow all the assignment instructions. Okay, 250 words is the minimum. You can go over if you need to. So, and then also keep an eye on those sentence counts. You know, because this paragraph should be 6 sentences minimum, and the first one should be 4 to 6. So at minimum, you're looking at 10 to 12 sentences here. So you should have well over 250 words, or at least over 250 words. Do not use any direct quotes in this assignment. Use your own words. If you use a direct quote, I will deduct, even if it's properly cited, because I don't want you using other people's words. I want you using your words, your ideas. Because remember, a paraphrase is when you take the ideas that I said are okay to use from the book and put them in your words as the writer, and then credit the source. So anything outside of a paraphrase from the textbook will be deducted. I know I've said that a bunch of times, but I really want that to sink in. The textbook is the only authorized source, and paraphrasing is the only authorized method of documentation. And again, any questions on that, please ask. Okay. And then finally, you need to do your reply post by 11:59 Sunday night. And you must complete at least 1 reply post of 50 words minimum. Reply post must show that you've read the post and are adding to the post's discussion. Include word count. Respectfully challenge your classmates' assessment or explain why you think they got the assessment right. Do not just repeat something they said in their post and say, you know, it's a good example. Tell them why they got it right. Be constructive with the feedback. You are being partly assessed on your ability to give feedback to someone else. So we'll go over the rubric more in class, but basically for this assignment, it's out of 40 points. I'm looking to give you 5 potential points for following the instructions, 5 potential points for properly following APA guidelines, 5 potential points for your grammar and mechanics, okay? 20 potential points for the content that you've created, and then the last 5 points would be for your reply post. If you don't do a reply post, you're going to lose all 5 of those points. And then if your reply post is strong, you'll get the 5. If it's weak, you'll get some variation between 0 and 5. Okay, so please, this is an important part because we want you to view your classmates' ideas and give them constructive feedback on it. Okay? And there's an example down here provided by the department of a way you could go with it, like she's talking about Sherlock Holmes here in Kohlberg stages. This example doesn't have paraphrases from the textbook because that's something that I want you guys to have. So make sure you have that in. I want you guys to put this in APA format similar to how we did on the first assignment. So on the previous assignment, week 2. I want the appropriate title page, and guys, please use the examples that are provided for you in the course, in the APA module. It's concerning how many people didn't construct the proper title page when it's exemplified for you in multiple places. So please pay attention to that going forward. I want a title page with your word count on it. I want the second page to have your essay in the 2 paragraphs. So the title again, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. And then I want the third page to have the reference for the class textbook on it. Okay? And you're going to drop that into, right here, into the Dropbox. Okay? Sorry, right here. This is the Dropbox where the instructions were. So you're going to put that in here, okay, by 11:59 Thursday night. And then you're going to put it on the Dropbox, which is right below it, okay? So you're going to click on this to add it to the discussion, okay, the discussion board. Now, when you add it to the discussion board, I don't want your title page on the discussion board, okay? All you have to do on the discussion board is highlight from the title down to your references. So it'll be title, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and then it'll have your reference page. And just make sure you include your word count right below that second paragraph and just put that on. We don't need to have that whole big title page on everybody's discussion post. It'll be kind of cumbersome, all right? So, because, it posts with your name anyways, so people will see whose post it is. So just put the main body of the paper up, your reference, and then your word count. And remember, your reference doesn't count for your word count, okay? And so that's basically it for the assignment. Make sure you guys get it in on time because, as I've said in the syllabus and in class, I will not accept late work. If it's posted at 12 o'clock, that's late and will not be accepted. You will not receive points for it. Because the idea here is I want you guys thinking about these assignments, getting them done and not putting them off to the last day and then running into something that prevents you from, completing that assignment, okay? And so go ahead and get started on this as you go. If you want to wait, for class, discussion, that's fine. But the information you need to get started on this is in your textbook and it's in the videos. So at least be thinking about the character. You can write your character summary before you come to class. You don't need me to help you with that. And you can even start attempting to write in the actual, stages you find them in before we get to class. Okay, and then, maybe class will either validate that you're doing it correctly or, let you know that you've got to tweak something, okay? So that's it. I know this is a bit of a longer video, but as I've been saying, I want to use these videos as a way to go over the expectations of the assignment and then get them up for you guys early so you can watch this over and over and over as you're doing your work. And then we can use class to handle the theory. But again, you're going to need to be working outside the course because we're not going to be able to cover everything in our 1 hour and 15 minutes together. That will help you with everything you need for the quiz and such. So please make sure you're keeping up on your own. And I look forward to seeing you all in class. And we'll discuss this a little bit more throughout the week. But please go ahead and get started as soon as you can so we're not putting this off until 11:59 Thursday and not getting it in on time, okay? So I look forward to seeing you. We're going to have a good week, and I'll talk to you all in class. Bye.